Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting to you live inside DPAT's Laboratory at Barangay Anonas in the city of Ordenera, the province of Pangasinan, the Republic of the Philippines, on a special time and schedule for today's race day number 3 of 8 this month of November 2025. Don Patrick DPAT Aguilar here for DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube, proudly bringing you race day number 3 of 8 on an advanced schedule for this Friday afternoon right here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Yus! Hello mga kadipat and good afternoon to all who are watching this live stream right now. For those who will be watching anytime here inside DPAT's Laboratory on a special schedule as we continue our live coverage on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube, of our continuing coverage of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 this November 2025. Once again, Don Patrick DPAT Aguilar proudly bringing you another set of Tamiya Mini 4-Drive racing action. Before we proceed right away with our one solid hour of fingerstyle guitar concert on An Evening with DPAT Aguilar on Facebook page DPAT Aguilar later on at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Alright, so mga kadipat, dahil pinaaga na po natin, okay, I have to explain why did I have to explain immediately why did I set on an earlier schedule itong ating race day number 3 of 8. It's simply because of the expected disastrous or catastrophic effects of the incoming super typhoon Fongwong. In international name, it's Fongwong, or in the Philippines, we call it Uwan. Uwan, letter U. Uwan. The name, in local terms, it's Uwan. As internationally known, it's Fongwong. So, dahil nga po sasalantain tayo ng super typhoon na Uwan sa darating na Lunes, November 10, 2025. Talagang we really expect catastrophic effects of the aforementioned super typhoon. So, to address that, we immediately set our race day number 3 of 8, which is supposed to be this coming Monday in advance. So we advance it to today, November 7, 2025. All right. So as we proceed with our race day schedule, we have to explain first our previous race day last November 5, last Wednesday. In our previous edition, we got Unicosmos, Zeta, Ferreira, Team Avataris, Target, Zenaco, and Escolta, the new entry, battled it out. And in those seven race cars played last run and gun Wednesday natin. Ang naging final forecast natin were Zeta on top seed, Unicosmos in second seed. Escolta surprisingly entered the semifinals for the first time in its debut in TL history, making a mark as the third-seeded car going to the race ops. And Zenaco was the last semifinal ticket holder after entering the top 4 slot. So, yun yung top 4 po natin. Zeta, Unicosmos, Escolta, and Zenaco ang nakapasok. Then, in the semifinals, the matchups were Zeta versus Zenaco, Unicosmos versus Escolta, and Zeta. And both Zeta and Escolta, surprisingly, Escolta entered the championship race for the first time in its DTL history, in its DTL debut. Ayun, nakapasok ng championship itong si Escolta against Zeta. So Super 2 chassis rivalry yung nangyari sa ating championship race last Wednesday, which I recently reviewed earlier today. And sa race for third naman nalagay sina Unicosmos at si Zenaco. In that race for the bronze, it ended in the last man or last car standing concept to determine the bronze awardee. And after that last car standing re-race, it went out to be Unicosmos becoming the final victor in that race for third, and Unicosmos was able to add 1 aggregate point on its total tally this month. And in the championship race, was was just too much for Escolta to handle after the 6-lap race. It went out to be Zeta gaining its championship throne upon beating first-timer Escolta. All right. So the podium finishers of that November 5, 2025 edition were Zeta as champion, Escolta surprisingly a silver awardee, and Unicosmos won the third place award or the bronze award. All right. So ano yun? So ang tally po natin in this month, Zeta with 5 points, Unicosmos with 4 points, Ferreira with 1 point, Escolta with 2 points. And si ano naman si sino pa yung isa pang naka-score nung ano? Ang isa pang naka-score ay si wala na, apat pa lang pala. Ferreira with 1 point, Zeta with 5 points, Unicosmos with 4 points, and then Escolta with 2 points. So, apat pa lang yung nakaka-score this month of November 2025 after a couple of race days. Alright, so without further ado, let's proceed immediately with our race day number 3 of 8 on DTL SMC Season 2 with yours truly, Don Patrick D. Paraguay, calling the shots for another set of Tamiya Mini Power Drive Racing action. Advanced schedule. In advance na po natin yung November 10, 2025 for today, November 7, 2025. So, sa first live natin, live ako ngayon sa YouTube and then mag-live din ako sa Facebook mamayang 6:30 for an evening with D para haranahan na naman po tayo. Isang oras na tugstugan na naman po tayo mamaya. Alright. So without further ado, let's proceed immediately with our race number 1 of our 21 races of the single round robin for today's Friday afternoon delight here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. First up, we have here our race number 1. So I have to set the flash right away. Okay. Race number 1 now features Zenaku taking on Paparoch. Right. In our race number 1, Paparoch, the comebacking Paparoch taking on one of its bestial nemesis, Zenaku. And for this race number 1, it's going to be Zenaku starting at lane 2, Paparoch lane 1. This time, nagkapalit ng upuan. Nagkapalit na naman tayo ng upuan, mga katumpat. So I have to set the phone first. I have to set my electric fan for the meantime. Alright? Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, mga ka-DTL, mga ka-DPAT, mga ka-Tamiya at mga kababayan po natin yan. Of course, for all who will be, for all the for every Filipino who will be affected by the incoming super typhoon Juan, please stay safe and dry. And of course, as much as possible, you have to immediately evacuate your residences so as to make yourselves safe. And of course, stay away from harm brought out by the incoming super typhoon Juan. Yung sa lahat po ng mga kababayan po natin dyan, ingat po lagi. Yan. Ingat, kahit yung mga natamaan po ng nakaraang bagyong Tino, yan. Padayon. Maayong hapon kaninyo tanan at padayon, of course, amping. Alright, in our race number 1, once again, Zenaku starting at lane 2, Paparoch starting at lane 1 to start off our Friday afternoon delight here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2, which is again supposed to be for Monday, scheduled for Monday, November 10, 2025. Supposed to be, but we'll just start this immediately today. Simply because of the anticipated catastrophic effects of Super Typhoon Juan on Monday here in the Philippines. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started this Friday afternoon here on DTL SMC with this race number 1. Ready, set, right. Winner! Nakakusog ata yung pinion. Nakakusog yung pinion na ako, bigla tuloy bagal. Biglang nag-loose gear. Paparoch with a lucky win over Zenaku to start up our Friday afternoon delight today on DCL SMC. So as to mark ourselves safe from the upcoming Super Typhoon Uwan. Yan. Papa Roswan. Yan na ako, unfortunately lost. Official time out, yan na ako. Official time out kay dyan ako. Kasi parang nausog yung pinion niya eh. O nagkamali lang anong lagay ng ano. Tama naman. Bakit biglang naging ano? Kaya let's check the gear. Let's check the gear first ni ano. Biglang nagano eh. Ay, kaya pala. Masyadong usok pala. Alright. So there's a lull in the action uh, simply because of the delivered water, gallons of water actually. So, ayos, ready na. Okay, Zenakos ready for battle once again. While checking on Zenako, Waterboy came. Waterboy came simply because I bought a trio of gallons of water. Just because I'm running out of drinking water. We're running out of drinking water. That's why We have to pause it to mute for a little while. No? Alright, sorry about that. Race number 2, right away. Okay. Race number 2, we now have Unicosmos taking on Cosmo Atomica. Alright. Actually, we can actually do flash on, flash off. I think we don't. I don't think we still need flash on. It's simply because it's only after around 4 p.m. It's only 4:06 in the afternoon actually in Philippine Standard Time. It's 4:06 right now. Okay, so in our race number 2, it's Unicosmos taking on Cosmo Atomica. So it's an early rivalry of the twin Cosmosonics in our race number 2, wherein Unicosmos will start at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica lane 2. Again, Unicosmos at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica at lane 2, being the respective starting lanes in this race number 2. Ready, set, bye. Good. Love it. Penultimate lap. Final lap rather. Yes, Anika. Pomreno pa. Pomreno pa. Biglang preno. Biglang preno. Unicosmos victorious over Cosmo Atomica. Alright. Okay. So I have to activate the flash once again. Para talagang kitang-kitang ebidensya. Ay, sino pala yung natalo kanina? Sena ako, no? O siya lalaban kay ano pala? Ata si Unicosmos kay Papa Roach. Ayun. There you go. So it's an early rematch in the rematch from the previous semifinals for our race number 4 later on. Okay, so Cosmo Atomica won, Unicosmos rather won against Cosmo Atomica in our race number 2. Moving forward to our race number 3 right away. Race number 3 rather, we now have Escolta taking on for the time Avatari. So it's Aero Avante Avatari, a veteran in maxed up category, taking on the newbie Escolta. And in this matchup, it's going to be Escolta starting at lane 2, Avatari starting on its own color, which is the blue lane or lane 1. Again, it's Avatari at lane 1, Escolta at lane 2, being the respective starting lanes in this race number 3. Ready? Set, bye. Ay, match. Match. Parehong camping master Aba! Magandang laban. Sabi. 3-second violation. Another lap. Final lane changer is all top. On to the final lap we go. Upset victory. Another major upset victory scored right there by Escolta after beating Avatari. Alright. Another upset victory for Escolta against Avatari. Against Avatari this time. So yung twin Aero Avantes parehong talo kay Escolta. Right after this live stream here on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube, we'll proceed right away at 6:30 in the evening later for an evening with Aguilar 1-hour concert. We have a 1-hour guitar concert later on, later tonight at 6:30 sharp. All right, race number 4. All right. Race number 4, we got here rematch from the previous semifinals last Wednesday. It's Zeta taking on Naku. So it's the race between the blacks in our race number 4. And for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 1, Zenaku at lane 2. Once again, Zenaku starting at lane 2, and Zeta will start at lane 1 Zenako trying to make up for lost time here in this race number 4. Ready, sit, bite. Attack! Hindi siguro problema. Pag nasundan na, okay na. Okay, off. Okay, winner. Nasundan na eh. Zeta prevailing over Zenako. Unfortunately, si Zenako hindi pa na-cure. So, early rematch from the previous championship race later on in our race number 7. Zeta taking on Escolta once again in the championship race rematch from last Wednesday. Counter kill siguro problema nito. Ewan ko kung ano yung naging problem. Teka. Official time out for the kids in Apu. Hopefully this works. Pag hindi pa rin nag-work, ibig sabihin yung hindi, palitan na natin yung counter clip. Just in case. May bearing pero hindi siya. Sure ba yung build nito? May ball bearing. Ay, ito palang nila. Masyado palang greasy. Masyado pa siyang greasy. Ayun, kaya pala eh. Greasy pala yung ano eh. Greasy pala yung counter kill ko eh. Pero susugin ko na rin yung pinner, baka ano eh. Baka makatulong. Let's see. Hopefully this works. Pit stop tayo, pit stop. Hopefully maging okay. Okay, race number 5. Let's proceed right away with race number 5. Yan. Zenako lost to Zeta. Green. Okay, Zeta. Race number 5. Race number 5, right away, we got here Unicosmos taking on Paparoch. Unicosmos versus Paparoch for our race number 5. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 2, Paparoch lane 1. Again, Paparoch starting at lane 1, Unicosmos starting at lane 2 in this race number 5. Ready, set, bite. Okay. Timbang. Lahat talaga. Penultimate lap, final finger. Good. Final lap. Paligid. Winner. Unicosmos winner. Alright. Dito na siya. Dito na pala siya, race number 8. Unicosmos won over Paparoch. Red. Race number 6. Race number 6. We got here Cosmo Atomica taking on Avatari. So yung mga nasa kulilat, silang magkalaban sa ating race number 6. And for this matchup, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1. Avatari starting at lane 2. That's opposite to their respective colors. At the blue lane or lane 1, it's going to be Cosmo Atomica. And Avatari will be starting at the red lane or lane 2 in this race number 6. Ready, set, bye. Cosmo Atomica with a quick start. And ultimate lap. Still good. Final lap. Winner. Wala talaga. Hindi nagpalamang. Cosmo Atomica winner. Alright. Cosmo Atomica winner. Ay, ano yun? Nalipat doon pala. Loser pala yun. Ay, oh. The winner yung kanina. Tapos loser na. Loser yan. Avatari Papa Roach. Good. Ayun. Tapos yung sunod, yung si Cosmo Atomica maghintay ng winner doon sa race 7. Cosmo Atomica was just too much. The much-awaited rematch from the previous championship race for our race number 7. We got here Zeta taking on Escolta. It's Big Spider versus Shining Scorpion in our race number 7. The race between the Super 2 chassis machines. And for this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Escolta at lane 1. Again, here Zeta will start here at the outer lane, which is lane 2. And Escolta will be starting here at lane 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here now is our rematch from the previous championship race in our race number 7. Ready, set, bye. Patay. Kanina. Nakain. Kaya pinag-tap. Pagkasundan, okay na. Okay, oh. Okay. Ay, yung makina siguro. Sunog na siguro makina nito. Sunog na ba talaga o yung makina ang ano, problema? Officials tayo mag-Zeta later. Escolta settling a score against avenging its loss against Zeta in the previous championship race. Alright. So Escolta will face Cosmo Atomica later on in our race number 10. Palagay ko yung baterya ang problem dito. Pero check muna natin yung battery kung yun ang problem. Kung, let's see pero kung ano talaga, tingnan natin dito sa isa. Nako pa, motor. Motor problem. Motor problem. Mahina rin eh. Ay sa ano, malakas na battery. Patay! Sunog. Sunog ang motor ni Zeta. Sunog motor niya. Sunog motor. Nasunog ka na naman na walang makina. Patay tayo dyan. Gawin ko muna yung ano. Start kaya di makapatari na lang muna. Gawin ko na lang muna yung di makapatari for the meantime. Kasi umigay ang makina. Ibig sabihin yung ano, nilagay ko sa pinalitan ko pati lang, mahihina rin yung ano. Ibig sabihin yung makina. Mahina na siguro ang makina nito, medyo test. mas bago. Ano nga? Time up muna tayo kay ano? Kay Zeta. Natabak yung sa'yo. Uli. 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 Uli yung mahina. Humihina na si Zeta talaga. Yung makina niya talaga mahina na. Naloko na. Kaya dapat 7 at atay lang talaga. Hindi pwedeng ano to. Hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay. Kailangan ano lang 7 at atay. Nasunugan na naman ako ng isang makina. Atay tayo daan. Nani. Nani. Race number 8 na tayo. Kaya mga cost-of-living na to. Yan naman yan. Kaya ano kaya nakakarang yung pagbundag ng Pilipinas dahil yan sa mga delay na yan. Tapos ano pa? Alam na this. Alam na, yung ano, the rest is history. Sabi ka lang. The rest is history already. Alright. Ano ba yun? Panalo si ano, no, Escolta. So far, wala pang draw. That's good. At least madaling masettle. Race number 8. Race number 8. We will now feature rematch from the previous race for the bronze. It's going to be Unicosmos versus Senaco in our race number 8. So that's rematch from the previous race for third. And for this matchup, we got Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Senaco at lane 2. Again, Senaco starting at lane 2, Unicosmos starting at lane 1 in this race number 8. Ready, set, bye. K.O. Pinam, biglang nag-lose gear. Baka yung ano siguro, posibleng yung pinion siguro nag-ano doon. Yoni Cosmos, winner, prevailing over Zena. Alright. Loser. Winner, loser. Tapos na si ano. Dito na. May ano tiyo, may problema tong si Zena ako talaga. May problema na talaga si ano. Zena ako. Ang talagang problem si ano. O baka itong gear. Posibleng yung gear siguro. Pero ano, kaya natin palitan yung counter gear niya. Zena ako. Palitan natin ng isa pang black. Let's try a new one. Check natin. Okay. Okay. Ayos na. Counter gear talaga problema. Counter gear. Counter gear talaga problem. Sino nanalo kanina? Unicosmos. Senaco lost again. Tatlo na panalo ni Unicosmos so far. Race number 9, we got here Papa Roach taking on Avatari. Papa Roach versus Avatari for our race number 9. And in this matchup, it's going to be Papa Roach starting at lane 2, Avatari starting at lane 1, so that's identical with the respective colors. Yung kanilang mga respective starting lanes. At the blue lane or lane 1, it's Avatari. And at lane 2, or the red lane, it's Papa Roach in this race number 9. Ready, set, bye. Yun lang. Itin, drogen. Bumitin. Nabitin. Drogen. Biglang tukod. Drogen. Ano ba yung huling nandun? Winner. Loser. First course out. Hindi. Yan na yung nauni kanina. Yan na nauni kanina. Si last course out. Sa hanapin ni Papa Roach dito yung loser nung race 10 possible. Draw. Papa Roach first course out. Draw game. Ngayon pa lang nag-draw. No? Okay, race number 10. Race number 10, it's gonna be another exciting race between Escolta and Cosmo Atomica this time. Escolta versus Cosmo Atomica in our race number 7. Race number 10 rather. And in this matchup, it's going to be Escolta starting at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica lane 2. Again, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2, Escolta starting at lane 1 in this race. Number 10. Ready, set, bye. Patay, sumabay. Kala ko, nakapakay. Final ranking here. Oy, buntik na nadugin. Final. Kala ko lason eh. Kala ko lalason pa eh. Akala natin malalason. Hindi pala. Cosmo Atomica winner. Hindi nagpason kay Escolta. Alright. So, first course out, loser. Escolta Papa Roach. Naglaban naman sila, hindi pa. Ayun. First loss for Escolta. So, that's first loss for Escolta at the expense of a veteran in Cosmo Atomica. Cosmo Atomica, the veteran. Or the grizzled veteran. The grizzled veteran of DPAT's Tamiya League. Also, a multi-titleist as well, and a champion of the month awardee for how many times? For how many times na rin? Race number 11, we now have Zeta taking on Unicosmos. Alright, now race number 11, Unicosmos takes on Zeta. In this matchup, it's going to be Zeta starting at lane 2, Unicosmos starting at lane 1. So, we expect this as another epic battle on the racetracks. Once again, starting lane cars, it's Unicosmos at lane 1 and Zeta at lane 2 in this race number 11. Ready, set, bye. Pakpaka na to! Yan na! Oh, nakulagpot na si Unicosmos. And out to the lap, Zeta trying to catch up. Out to the final lap we go. Panite! Wala, hindi talaga nagpadaig ang Cosmosonic. Hindi nagpadaig ang Sonic sa Big Spider. Talagang arangkada agad. Unicosmos prevailing over Zeta. Nakabawi. Alright. Ayun thanks so much. And once again, welcome to DPAT's Tamiya League Special Edition. as we continue November 2025 today, in advance from November 10, for supposed to be November 10, 2025, simply because of in anticipation to the upcoming Super Typhoon Uwan. So para ma-address natin, para maiwas natin sa bagyo, agahan na natin. So once again, welcome to DTL SMC. Unicosmos 1 over Zeta. So ano nung yung huli kanina? Loss, win. Tapos na. Zeta na. Tapos na pala si Unicosmos kay Cosmo Atomica. Yun yung una. Actually, yun yung first assignment ni Unicosmos pala. So, remaining assignments for Unicosmos will be Escolta and Avatari. Yun na lang yung mga nalalabi niyang assignments. Zeta, incurring 2 losses. So, babalik siya sa race number 14 later. Race number 12. Zenaco at saka si Avatari hindi pa naglaban. Okay. Race number 12, we now have Zenaco taking on Avatari. In this race number 12, it's going to be Zenaco starting at lane 1, Avatari at lane 2. Once again, Zenaco will start at lane 1, Avatari starting at lane 2 in this race number 12. Ready, hit, bite. Ayan na. Bangyak. Okay, vlogging. Zenaco first course up. Zenaco first course up, Avatari last. So, ano ito? Loser, winner. Winner, Avatari tatapat. First course out, Zenaco. First point. First point. 2 points, Avatari. Race number 13. Race number 13 will feature Escolta taking on Paparoch. It's Shining Scorpion versus Slash Reaper for our race number 13. And for this matchup, Escolta will start at lane 2 and Paparoch back at lane 1 as its starting lane. Again, Paparoch starting at lane 1, Escolta starting at lane 2 and race number 13. Pareho palang titihit, sorry. So kailangan ko munang yan ilapag. Okay. Ready, set, bye. Good. 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 Penultimate lap. Final lap. Pag nabutan, okay na. Ay, look! Patay. Nalason pa. Akala natin panalo na, lason pa. No kaya yun? Ano kaya yun? Just when we thought Paparoch was about to win this, Paparoch was about to win the race number 13, but unfortunately, at the final lane changer, final lap, ayun, sumadsad pa. Aray ko. Kamalas nga naman, Escolta with another upset victory this time at the expense of Paparoch. Alright. Remaining assignments for Escolta, Zenaco, and Unicosmos. Okay, so dito siya. Paparoch will only have Cosmo Atomica and Zeta. Winner. Escolta winner. Tatlo na. Nakatatlo. Lason. Lason. Race number 14. Fine ka no? Race number 14, we now have Zeta taking on Cosmo Atomica. Alright. Zeta versus Cosmo Atomica in our race number 14. And in this matchup, Zeta will start at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica at lane 2. Again, Zeta starting at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 in this race number 14. Ready, set, Bye. Ah, yun lang. Nakabuki. 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 Logan. Aray ko. Stop point. Logan. Bumalik na yung sigla ni Zeta. Sabi ko na nga ba, makina eh. Sunog yung motor. Kailangan ko nang bumili kay Sir Ivy. O kaya kung sino man meron. Ano yun? Ano yun nandun? Winner, loser. First course out si Cosmo Atomica pala. Yan. Good. Cosmo, tapos ito last. See. First course out si Cosmo. Oo. Tama. Papa Roach Avatari, yung last assignments ni Zeta. Tabantalang si Cosmo Atomica, Papa Roach at Senapo. Alright, race number 15. It's the race between my box stock entries. Actually, yung dalawang box stock entries ko ang magkalaban sa ating race number 15. It's going to be Unicosmos taking on Avatari. So it's Cosmosonic versus Aero Avante rivalry for our race number 15. And for this matchup, Unicosmos will start at lane 2, Avatari at lane 1, so that's identical with their respective colors. Again, it's Unicosmos starting at the red lane or lane 2, and Avatari will start at the blue lane or lane 1 in this race number 15. Alrighty, set, right. Ako Avatari! Wala, lakas ng boots eh. Parang may naipudugtong siya na, yung Cosmos, ibang klase. And ultimate lap, final lane change. Alright, ay na lang. Okay. Ike! Wala talaga. Di nahabol. Unicosmos, another victory over Avatari this time. Alright. Avatari. Yan. So, Unicosmos, remaining assignment will be against Escolta. Yun ang final assignment ni Unicosmos, si Escolta. Remaining race. Remaining race niya. Uy, mukhang mape-perfect. Aba, mukhang makaka-perfect si Unicosmos ngayon ha. First time in a long while ha. First time in a long while na may makaka-perfect. Last assignment for Avatari, Zeta. Last assignment for Unicosmos, Escolta. Okay. Race number 16. Escolta, Zeta. Okay. Race number 16. It's on the Lupine Racer Zenaku. And in this race number 16, it's going to be Escolta starting at lane 1. And Zenaku will start at lane 2. Again, Zenaku starting at lane 2. Escolta starting at lane 1 in this race number 16. Ready, set, fight. Hit! Hit! Winner! Hit! Okay. Hit! Nahit! KO! Winner! We don't need to finish that. Basta may nag-hit, panalo na yun. Oh, no need to finish. Alright. Escolta winner. Alright. Ayun. Last assignment na rin ba? Ayo. Last assignment din pala. Last assignment na rin pala. 4:40 in the afternoon. Alas 4:40 na pala. We'll just finish this as quick as possible. Para pagdating ng Game 3, kung pagdating ng Monday, November 10, kung sakali mang bagyuhin, at least, at least, okay tayo. At least na iraos. Hit. Escolta 1 over Zenaku. Green. Green mark. Black. Green and black. Kasi ano eh. Heat. 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 Race number 17. Race number 17, right away, we got here the race between the Orange Agents, yung Agent Orange rivalry of Papa Roach rather, and Cosmo Atomica. It's Papa Roach versus Cosmo Atomica in our race number 17. Orange Agents collide once again, and in this matchup, it's Papa Roach starting at lane 2. Cosmo Atomica lane 1. Again, Papa Roach starting at lane 2. Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1 in this race number 17. Ready, set, fight. Papa Roach ahead. Good. Ay, yun lang. Okay. Final lap. Buti na lang, di nagkasalubong. Okay, winner. Winner. Nakapanalo rin ng isa. Nakaisa rin. Nakaisa rin. Buti na lang, hindi nagkasalubong yung isang lane. Buti na lang, nagsalisi. Good thing na nagkasalisi. They were in different lanes when Cosmo Atomica coursed out and ran the other way. Ran the wrong way actually. Good thing na salisi sila ng lane. Hindi sila nagkabanggaan. Papa Roach finally winning one. Alright. Final assignment for Papa Roach is Zeta. And then your Cosmo Atomica, Zenaku final. Okay. So si Avatari pala yung unang matatapos dito. Bali. Ha? Ay. Ay, medyo hinihinga lang inyong lolo. Hinihinga lang lolo nyo. Buti na lang hindi nag-hit. Good thing hindi nakadalawa na pala si Papa Roach. Kasi nagkaroon pala ng aksidente kanina nung race 1. Okay, so na ako pala. Sorry. Pangalawa na pala ni Papa Roach by the way. Second win. Alright. Race number 18. Okay, race number 18 will now proceed with Zeta battling Avatari. So this is the final assignment for Avatari in its campaign. In its single round robin campaign in our game 3. And in this matchup, is going to be Zeta starting at lane 1, Avatari lane 2. Again, Zeta starting at lane 1, Avatari starting at lane 2 in this race number 18. Ready, set, fight! Biglang ako biglang pumuntreno. Natin ito. Good. Nandito pa. Final lap. Wow. At least walang umiimbang. Medyo na stuck for a split second. Stuck in a split second itong siya na na-stuck si Avatari kaya naunahan. Di na nakahabol. Zeta winner, and unfortunately for Avatari will close out its campaign with a loss. Most likely tanggal si Avatari. Most likely tanggal na yan. 2 points lang si Avatari. So tanggal na yan. Malamang tanggal na yan. Tanggal na to. 2 points lang yun ang score ni Avatari. So, it's maagang paalam. Maagang paalam for now. So, babalik na lang siya sa Miyerkules. Sa susunod na Lunes. November 17. Okay. So, wala naman nag-back to back. So, pwede na natin last 3 races. Pwedeng last 3 races, so walang problema. Okay. 3, 6. Okay. Race number 19. Race number 19 will now feature a rematch from the previous semifinals once again. Escolta taking on Unicosmos once again. Race number 19 this time around. And in this matchup, Escolta will start at lane 2, Unicosmos lane 1. So let's see kung malalason ulit ni Escolta itong si Unicosmos in our race number 19. Again, Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Escolta starting at lane 2. Ready, set, fight. Waktak yan ha, waktak. Waktak versus waktak. Ayun lang! Final up. Naisahan din. Naisahan din mga kadipat. Akala natin maiisahan eh. Hindi pa rin. Naisahan pa rin. Wow! What a turn of events right there mga kadipat, ladies and gentlemen. And then on that note, Escolta prevailing over Unicosmos and putting an end to its campaign. It's a single round robin campaign on a happy note. Escolta with the win. Unicosmos na lamatan. Arito po, tabla sila ngayon. Kung sila lang dalawang tabla, Escolta ang may higher seed dyan kasi win over the other yan eh. Yare. Yes. Delikado, delikado. I forgot to drink my Sprite. Okay, penultimate race. Yep, penultimate race. Okay. Penultimate race of our elimination round today. It's going to be Zenako taking on Cosmo Atomica. Alright, it's Zenako versus Cosmo Atomica in race number 20. And for this matchup, Zenako will start at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2. Again, Zenako starting at lane 1, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 2 in this 20th and penultimate race of our single round robin this Friday afternoon. The lights. Ready, set, fight. Kakay, Aduki. Aduki, Logi. Draw for what? Zenako and Cosmo Atomica. So draw. First score sa Cosmo. Tama ba? Hindi. First score sa Zenako pala. Sorry. Cosmo Atomica, draw. Alright. Final race of our elimination round this Friday afternoon. Supposed to be Monday, but advanced it to Friday because of the sudden changes in the climate. Alright, here in the Philippines. So, in our race number 21, we got here Zeta taking on Papa Roach. It's the Spider and Cockroach rivalry once again to wrap up our 21 races of the single round robin. And in this matchup, Zeta will start at lane 2, right here. And Papa Roach will start at lane 1. Because they both have rotating switches, that's why I have to show it to the camera. Then I'll just flip it over. Tapos flip over it pag nag-switch on. Again, Papa Roach starting at lane 1, Zeta starting at lane 2 in our 21st and culminating race of our 21 races of the single round robin this Friday afternoon. Ready, set, Bye. Paparot ulit. Good. Nakasunod. Yun, ati. Ati! Penultimate ka, final ending del Zeta. Good, final na. Alright. And that's the wrap. Alright. Zeta wrapping up the elimination round with a victory over Papa Roach. Alright, so this will end up, this will close out our elimination round for today's Friday afternoon delight, which is again supposed to be Monday. This Monday pa sana, but we have to put it on an earlier date simply because of the anticipated catastrophic effects of Super Typhoon Uwan here in the Philippines, particularly in North and Central Luzon and also the other southern islands of the Philippine archipelago. And yeah, so at the end of our elimination round, when we return, habang nasa commercial break tayo, ano muna tayo, yung mag-finalize tayo ng tally so that we can determine the final forecast going to the race ops later. So of course, when we come back, it's the final results and the race ops, races, semifinals, race for third, and championship race. All of these and more when DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2's continuing live coverage on YouTube channel DPAT TV returns. Alright mga kadipat, mga kadetail, mga katamiya, mga kababayan po natin, and all the Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing fans across the globe. Once again, Don Patrick P. Paragular here at the call about another set of Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 in its continuing live coverage on DPAT TV. Don Patrick Aguilar on YouTube. Of course, I remind everyone to please like, follow, share, and subscribe for more of Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action and some documentaries related to Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive. And of course, at the end of the 21 races in the single round robin, the final four or the race ops is set with Escolta and Unicosmos tied at 10 points apiece with 5 wins and 1 loss. But due to the win over the other, it turned out to be Escolta garnering the top seed. The top seed goes to Escolta, while Unicosmos will be relegated to the second seed. Of course, going to our race ops, yung final 4 rounds or race ops po natin. And following them is Zeta with 7 points total, 3 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. And the fourth and final race ops ticket went to Cosmo Atomica with a split a pair of wins, losses, and draws actually. So 2 apiece in wins, losses, and draws, making it a total of 6 points. And the final race up slot garnered actually going to our race up. So unfortunately, Papa Roach, Avatari, and Zen Ako will bid farewell for now. Babalik na lang sila sa susunod na Lunes po, November 17. Okay. So, yun yung ano natin, yung score. 5-2 and 2, by the way, yung mga score ng mga nangulilat na tatlo. So, papalitan nyo ni na Ferreira, Stargate, at ni Timac Avatari, yung sina Papa Roach, Avatari, at Senaco. Alright, so the race ops is set with semifinals number 1 will be another exciting one actually. So, it's going to be another exciting matchup for our semifinals number 1 today. We got Unicosmos, the second seeded car, going up against Zeta once again. So, yung mga top scorers, top aggregate scorers at the moment, mag-aagawan sila ngayon. One of them will go down to the race for the bronze, and the other goes on to either take the lead back or increase the lead. For Zeta, it's increasing the lead. For Unicosmos, it's regaining the lead later. So in the semifinals number 2, Escolta, the top seeded car, takes on Cosmo Atomica. So without further ado, let's proceed right away with our semifinals races, beginning our race ops. Semifinals number 1 right away. All right, I have to put back the flash. All right, putting back the flash for more Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing action coming at you. All right. Semifinals number 1 will now feature the second seeded car, Unicosmos, taking on the third seeded car, Zeta. So it's the race between the Champion of the Month awardees, actually, 2-time Champion of the Month awardee, Zeta, taking on the July 2025 Champion of the Month, Unicosmos. And in this matchup, it's going to be Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Zeta at lane 2. Again, Unicosmos starting at lane 1, Zeta lane 2. Lane 2, because Unicosmos is the higher seeded car here. Okay. So I have to put some dirt, simply because they both have bouncy tires. Slick tires for Unicosmos, only a hard tire for Zeta. At hindi bakbakan to. This is going to be another epic matchup once again. Alright mga kadipat, mga kadetail, mga katamiya, and all of our countrymen and our fellow Filipinos, and of course to all of our Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing fans across the globe. Once again, good afternoon to all of you, and you're still watching our continuing live stream of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 this November 7, 2025, which is supposed to be Monday, November 10. But due to the sudden impact to be anticipated on Monday, that will be brought out by the typhoon, the super typhoon Uwan or Kungwong in international terms. So we have to brace ourselves for the cataclysmic or catastrophic effects to be brought out by the typhoon, the super typhoon. All right. So we advanced it. So we advanced the schedule of race day number 3 of 8. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's proceed right away with the race offs for this edition with our semifinals number 1. Ready, set, fight. Unicosmos ahead, Zeta catching up. Zeta grabbing the lead back. Unicosmos grabbing the lead back. Penultimate lap. Medyo na-teaser si Zeta. Final lap. Okay, hindi pa rin nakabawi. Hindi pa rin nakabawi. Unfortunate. That was unfortunate for Zeta to settle the score against Unicosmos. So hindi pa rin nakabawi. Unfortunately, hindi pa rin nakabawi. And it's going to be Unicosmos this time. So the erstwhile champion Zeta will be relegated to the race for third. And eventually Unicosmos will be grabbing the back on its favor the month of November 2025 after entering the championship race anew. So Zeta will be relegated to the race for the bronze, while Unicosmos will move on to the championship race later on. In the meantime, we now have our semifinals number 2 right away between the top-seeded car Escolta taking on the 4th-seeded car Cosmo Atomica. So this is actually Super 2 versus FMA rather. So I forgot to mention Tamiya Mini 4-wheel racing fans that this semifinals cast after the race offs cast is consisting of a couple of Super 2 chassis machines and FMA chassis machines. So the Twin Cosmosonics battling different positions in race ops for today. And in this matchup, it happened to be that way actually. Alright, so in our semifinals number 2, we got Cosmo Atomica rather taking on Escolta. And in this matchup, Escolta will be starting at lane 2, Cosmo Atomica at lane 1. Again, it's Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1, Escolta starting at lane 2. So I have to put a lot of dirt on Cosmo Atomica's tires, slick tires actually, while Escolta, I have to clean the tire simply because it's slower. Escolta has a slower speed, has a lower speed than Cosmo Atomica, that's why I'm cleaning up the tires. Though they both have slick tires. Although they both have slick tires, but Cosmo Atomica is just much faster and more susceptible to tumble. So that's why I have to put some dirt. That's a strategy I have learned for the year 2025 to be applied in backstock category. Or even in cross-stock category rather. Kahit X-stock din naman pwede rin. So it's up to the racer. So it's still the discretion of the racer kung hindi stock. No? Sorry. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, mga kadipat, mga kadetail at mga katamiya, here now is our semifinals number 2. Ready, set, bye. Okay. Hit. Nagkatamaan. Nagkasalubong dahil nagkatamaan. Buti na lang, matibay si Escolta. Buti na lang, matibay. Oy! Buti na lang, nagkaano rin. Welcome back. Alright, nang last one na naman. Holy smoke! Ladies and gentlemen, mga kadipat, mga kadetail at mga katamiya, Escolta again back at the championship race for the second straight day upon seeing Cosmo Atomica forcing out and move the other way, the wrong way, and eventually hitting Escolta. So that's why That's why Escolta emerged as the winner of the semifinals number 2 to take on Unicosmos in our championship race later on, right after this race for third, which is another epic matchup possible. Another possible epic matchup in our race for the bronze as what is this? Lower seeded. Okay, so yung mga maglaban pala sa championship, traditional 1 versus 2 pala. Okay, race for third or race for the bronze will now feature the third seeded car Zeta against the fourth seeded car Cosmo Atomica. And in this matchup, Cosmo Atomica will start at lane 1 this time. No, Zeta at lane 1 rather, Cosmo Atomica lane 2 this time. Ano ba kanina kasi? 2. Lane 1 si Cosmo Atomica pala, no? Tama, lane 2. Lane 2 ngayon siya. Si Zeta lane 1, Cosmo Atomica lane 2. Tama. Again, Cosmo Atomica starting at lane 1 this time. Zeta lane 2. Rather, baliktad pala, sorry. It's the other way around actually. Medyo nakakabaw-kabaw ng lolo nyo. Aray ko. Tarag. Nani! Nani! Nakabaw-kabaw na yung lolo nyo, nalilito na, pagod na kasing utak eh. Ganun talaga pag napagod yung utak. Especially for myself na walang maasahan sa buhay talaga. Ganun talaga pag wala nang maasahan sa buhay, ganyan ang mangyayari, yan ang consequence talaga. Alright mga kahipat, mga katitil at mga katamiya, ladies and gentlemen, all Tamiya Mini 4-wheel drive racing fans around the world, let's get ready to rumble here in this bronze medal race or the race for the bronze for our Dipats Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 this November 7, 2025. Again, I remind that I reiterate that this is supposed to be Monday pa sana. But I just have to advance it simply because of the Super Typhoon Iwan which will affect the entire Philippine archipelago on Monday. Possibly on Sunday or Monday. Alright, so once again, race for the bronze, first to make 6 laps. Ready, set, fight. Get ahead. Atomica in the lead. Zeta driving the lead back. Cosmo Atomica catching up and driving the lead back as well. Back and forth action we go at the penultimate lap. And then continues for Cosmo Atomica going to the final lap. And that's a wrap. Cosmo Atomica with come from behind victory. What a race for the bronze that was. Man! Man! Did you see that coming? So my God. What a race for the bronze, ladies and gentlemen. Back and forth action, lap after lap after lap after lap, but until the final 2 laps, wherein Cosmo Atomica was able to maintain the lead and never look back, and eventually winning it in 6 laps against Zeta, therefore making Cosmo Atomica earning its aggregate point this month of November 2025 here on DTL SMC Season 2. Wow! What an amazing display of speed and stability right there. Proper adjustments were made, but Zeta was just falling short. Man! What a race! Pwedeng race of the day na naman to. Zeta Cosmo Atomica possible. Pwedeng ito yung race of, that's probably a tie. That's probably a tie between Unicosmos versus Karoch and itong race for the bronze natin for today. So let's see at the review later on. Or maybe tomorrow. Alright, the much awaited championship race is now here. Wherein Escolta, the top seeded car, will take on the second seeded car, Unicosmos. The top 2 scorers at the end of the elimination round for today will square off in this championship race. And in this matchup, Unicosmos will start at lane 1, Escolta at lane 2. Escolta is back at lane 2 as its starting lane. Again, that's Escolta at lane 2 and Unicosmos at lane 1. Ito, konting na lang. Ay, correct. Ano pa tuloy? Ito pala eh. Naubusan na ako ng dumi. I'm running out of dirt. I'm running out of dirt to use just to stabilize the tires of Unicosmos. It's because it has bouncy tires. So back at the finals once again for Escolta. Let's see if this is going to be a champion, a new second time lucky charm or another heartbreak right here. Alright mga ka-Dipa, mga ka-DTL at mga ka-Tamiya, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble here in this championship race to culminate our Friday afternoon delight here on DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. This November 7, 2025. By the way, happy birthday today to Mrs. Anita Calbam, to Tita Nene Calbam. Happy birthday today, November 7. Alright, so once again, championship race. First to make 6 laps. Ready, set, bye. Unicorn Pond so far in the lead. 10 more minutes lap. Final lap. Another heartbeat. Another heartbreak. Another heartbreak for Escolta. Escolta just falling short. Escolta was just falling short right there. And at the end of that championship race, it's going to be Unicosmos back at the championship throne upon winning against Escolta in our championship race here on DCL SMC Season 2. So first and third place finishes for the Twin Cosmosonics actually. So ang Twin Cosmosonics this time ang nagkampiyon sa ano natin. So ang nakabalik si Escolta at si Zeta ang napalitan ni Cosmo Atomica this time. Grabe sila na naman. Pero at least si Cosmo Atomica nakapuntos na siya ng kahit isa lang for now. Alright. So, to recap our race day number 3 of 8 here on DTL SMC Stock Motor Conference. Again, we got Zeta, Escolta, Unicosmos, Zenaco, Papa Roach, Cosmo Atomica, and Avatari battled it out. And after those 21 races, single round robin today, we got the final forecast. Escolta on top, Unicosmos at second, Zeta at third, and Cosmo Atomica at fourth. So yung mga semi-finals matchup natin, Escolta versus Cosmo Atomica, and it ended in poison. It ended in a course out by Cosmo Atomica, paving the way for Escolta to close out the 6-lap race. No re-race was needed. Escolta was cruised to the finish line with ease and making its return to the championship race for the second straight time. And on the other end, Unicosmos took on Zeta on another epic race, epic 6-lap race in the semi-final. And Unicosmos leading. Actually, Zeta was leading by in the first half, but in the second half parang humabol din si Unicosmos and then talagang never look back. Unicosmos did not look back until the 6-lap requirement is over and done with Unicosmos returning to the championship race, ousting the erstwhile champion Zeta right there. And in the race for the bronze, Zeta versus Cosmo Atomica was the matchup, and Cosmo Atomica was able to beat Zeta after leading, after a seesaw battle between them. Naging seesaw race ang naging laban nila in the first 4 laps until the final 2 laps of the 6-lap race in the race for the bronze, wherein Cosmo Atomica was able to grab the lead back and never look back, and eventually held on to the lead and win against Zeta in the race for third race, possible race of the day. That's a possible race of the day. It's a tie between race number 4 in the elimination round and the race for the bronze for this edition. So possible atay. Atay. We have atay. We have atay in our race for the day segment. And again, Cosmo Atomica was able to grab to score its first aggregate point this month of November 2025. And following that race, epic race for the bronze was the championship race between Unicosmos and Escolta, wherein Unicosmos was just too much to handle for Escolta. Escolta again falling short, but then again, Escolta now scoring 4 points on aggregate this month. And Unicosmos will add another 3 aggregate points on its total tally this month upon returning to the championship round. And yun nga, yung mga podium finishers po natin. Unicosmos as champion, Escolta as second placer, and third placer, Cosmo Atomica. As we update the aggregate scoring this month, we got Unicosmos back at the lead with a 2-point edge over Zeta, 7 against 5. And Cosmo Atomica finally scored its finally on the board in aggregate scoring after finishing third place. And Escolta now has a total of 4 points, trailing by only 1 point against Zeta. Alright, so that wraps up our race day number 3 of 8. Advanced race day number 3 of 8, which is again supposed to be Monday pa sana. But we just moved it for today simply because of the possible catastrophic effects of the Super Typhoon Uwan or Fungwong in international names. Alright. So once again, this has been our DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2 this November 7, 2025 with yours truly, Don Patrick D. Paraguila here for now signing off. Thank you so much to all who watched and whoever will watch anytime here inside DPAT's Laboratory for our live streaming regularly on a regular basis. It's Monday and Wednesday, but we just have for today, we just advanced it today from Monday for supposed to be Monday. So, para iwas bagyo na rin, no? So, tinapos na ng maaga. Alright, so once again, I remind everyone to stay safe and healthy, avoid negative vices, especially drugs and all other negativities around you, and protect yourself from all those negativities at all times and at all costs as well. Once again, I'm leaving you a pleasant Friday afternoon to all of you, and of course, kita-kits tayo ulit mamaya sa An Evening with D-Pat Aguilar on D-Pat Aguilar Facebook page later at 6:30 in the evening. So, once again, never forget to pray to God always, for God is good, God is great, and God is almighty all the time. And as always, to God be all the glory and honor. God bless to all of us. God bless our beloved Maharlika nation. And God bless the entire world and all of us Filipinos across the globe. And like I always remind each and every true Filipino across the globe, no matter what the crisis, please love the Philippines. Mahalin pa rin po natin ang Pilipinas kahit anong mangyari. At sama-sama po tayong bumangon mulit. Ipakita, pagmalaki sa buong mundo. Let's show to the world that our own resiliency to even if all the odds are against us, we still have to say tayo ay Pilipino. Isigaw ng malakas ang ating panalo. Shout out our victory to the world. Taos puso at taas noo with all our hearts and with health keeping our heads high. Yan, kahit kanino. At sa mga manlulupig, hindi po tayo pasisiil, lakad matatag, anumang delubyo ang dumaan. So once again, this has been another presentation of another Tamiya Mini 4-Wheel Drive Racing Action live stream here on DPAT TV, Don Patrick Aguilar. Once again, this has been another presentation of DPAT's Tamiya League Stock Motor Conference Season 2. Once again, Don Patrick DPAT Aguilar here saying, Shokran, Tusentak, God bless always everyone, and we'll see each other later at 6:30 p.m. here on An Evening with DPAT Aguilar inside DPAT's Music Hall tonight. For now, pahinga lang po muna tayo. So, for now, again, Shokran, Tusentak.